everyone, welcome back to Mtambo podcast. My name is Jakub Mtambo. I know it's been years since we recorded a podcast, and today I have a guest, a special guest, my friend. We have been knowing each other for a long time, Jakub Šimek. Welcome back to Mtambo podcast.
Thank you, Duke. I'm happy to see you again and discuss current issues with you.
Yeah. So how have you been? How is Slovakia and everything over there?
It's getting pretty warm here. It's the temperatures are over 30 degrees at some days, and so we have like a proper summer. And actually, I was in Kenya and Tanzania the other day in June. So after 9 years, so yeah, I was very happy to be back in Africa. So then, but currently, just doing working from home. So happy to join you on the podcast after my home office. And, yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. It's been I don't know 2 years. I think the last time we recorded the podcast was I think this time maybe June. Yeah, so it was in 2023, and our last podcast was with David, and it was fun. Great to see you again. And how was the journey to Kenya? How was the experience after 9 years and all that?
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing to see to see the progress, the new infrastructure, new roads, new skyscrapers in Nairobi. Sadly, I couldn't visit the coast. It was a kind of like a short business trip, so yeah, 2 days in Nairobi, basically 2 nights in Nairobi and 1 night in Dar es Salaam. So yeah, even correct. Yeah. So yes, yes, it was great.
That's perfect. And I saw that you met with David also, and two long friend buddies. Since 2009, you guys met or something like that. I remember you coming to schools and when the project started.
Yeah, right. Like we met online in 2009 for the first time in Nairobi, and since then we are friends, and and we have worked together on a couple of projects, so it was great. And actually this time we were on a panel together speaking about private sector engagement, startup ecosystem, kind of connecting Slovak and Kenyan companies, so it was good. Good times.
Good times. I think I missed the that opportunity to link up with you at Nairobi, but of course I'm looking forward to meeting with you soon. Maybe when you come to Kenya, and you can plan to come to Mombasa this time around.
Yeah, next time I should just visit Mombasa. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was in Dar es Salaam, the weather was very similar to Mombasa, so I got I got the feeling again, like this is the weather, the humidity, the temperature I want to visit again. I want to see in Mombasa soon. So I don't know when, but inshallah, we hope for the best.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay. I remember you were writing about books some time back. We talked about Balajism. It was a very long podcast series that we did together with long nights and so forth. And you also write another, I think, 2 books, if I'm not wrong. Like right now,
No, yeah. I wrote like one last year, Dark Dynamism. So it's about like drones, dark factories, meaning like fully automated factories, and deurbanization. So it's kind of like a sci-fi futuristic kind of vision, but not it's not a fiction, right? It's just like maybe trying to forecast like what could happen in couple of years actually, like thanks to AI. So Here, drones are meant in a kind of broad sense, including like physical AI, so robots, drones, like flying robots, yeah, cars, everything. So it's like the DDD of dark dynamism. So it's like drones, dark factories, and deurbanization. And the deurbanization, it's kind of more maybe provocative kind of idea, but it's just like a it's the book poses a question like what if thanks to all these new technologies we could actually live in smaller towns or villages, and what if this like urbanization trend could decelerate or even reverse. And here, this might be interesting also maybe for Africa, which is like the least urbanized, but still very rapidly urbanizing, right, continent, but still the least urbanized, which might be interesting or good for Africa, kind of like leapfrogging again the West, or leapfrogging the industrialized countries or previously industrialized countries, because if you have like dark factories, meaning like fully automated factories that don't require lighting or very little like human kind of interaction, then this could be smaller, or this could be underground. This could include also like some kind of like fully automated mines. Yeah, other things. So like this was like 2024, right? And also 2025, like the early 25 when I published the book. Sorry, the 24 was the first one. Yeah, the bespoke Balajism. So, but yeah, last year was this dark dynamism. And yeah, I mean, in this year there is probably the AI race accelerated, so the AI race between China and the US, right? And we could see also some companies coming out of stealth mode, like Atoms. That's the Travis Kalanick company, the founder of Uber, and now he's focused on physical AI. So like parts of the thesis of this like dark dynamism thesis are kind of, I think, coming together. Maybe some parts are or some ideas are either yet to come or they haven't proven that correct. But like, yeah, I can discuss it further.
Yeah, but I think the dynamism part of the urbanization. I think for me it's already coming to reality, because with the aspect of how, or with the play of AI right now, when the internet came around, I think in the late or early 2000 or late 90s. It took time for it, to spread all over the world, like, for us experiencing, for example, in Africa, these apps, for example, Facebook, yes, it came, but, by the time it reached Africa, some other part of the countries that already experienced it. But right now, everything is taking shape very quickly. Like AI was released the other year, just after Corona, but look at it right now, it's all over the whole world. Actually, if you look at the statistics, you might find like Africa is already taking a bigger percentage in terms of interacting with the AI. And yeah, even I think the other day, I think I don't know if it's true. I don't have the facts, but it was there was another report that was saying like Kenya is one of the top countries which is interacting with the open AI or AI, in general. So in terms of using the chat AI, or in terms of trying to implement these say application, trying to coming up with agents, or try to use AI in any aspect in terms of coming up with the IoT project, or doing some other projects. But yes, the point is the urbanization. Sorry, the urbanization is playing right now already, because there's so many guys who are in the rural areas and are already using the AI, and the aspect that or the fact that this AI has already been packaged into even, what can I say, into, or embedded, for example, into, say, social media, for example, in Meta AI. This gives the exposure to, for example, young kids or young youths who are in the rural area already start to interact with the AI and ask some question. It's not like maybe before when the internet was there, and maybe those people who had gone to school, for example, to do IT, or those people who are maybe good in terms of software development could be, like, for example, interact with internet and all that. But right now it's packaged in a way like it's even embedded in social media. And yeah, so this, what you wrote is, I'm already start seeing it playing the role already in the moment.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, I mean, the thesis was also like including like digital fabrication and like these dark factories. So okay, like yeah, you're right. Like the okay, data centers, of course, that's kind of like automated factory, but then that might actually be distributed all around the world, because in the West there is some kind of opposition towards data centers and AI, but there are many countries that see AI and technologies as beneficial because they were rising with AI, right? Like the story of M-Pesa and mobile phones, and how Kenya leapfrog the West maybe 10 years or 15 years ahead of Kenyans were like 10 years ahead of the West, like in paying with mobile phones back in 2007 and on. Even the technology spreading even to Europe from Kenya, not just to Africa, but even to like at least 2 European countries, I think Albania and Northern Macedonia. Yeah, back then, and now we see Rwanda, right, with the drones, like drone delivery of blood, medicine, assisting at birth, like helping mothers and children to survive in rural areas. So that's, yeah, I mean, it's kind of coming together. But of course, this digital fabrication, even like back in 2015, we were like doing some 3D printing in Voi town in Kenya, like at Sotehap. And this is yet to materialize. So, like this digital fabrication is kind of more complicated. Or more yeah, I mean, it's more demanding, but I think thanks to AI, because you can, as you mentioned, even on WhatsApp, right, or some kind of meta, like social media, like Facebook, you have this embedded AI now. So you could actually like just, you have your personal assistant that can help, for example, set up a 3D printer, which is not an easy task, like to calibrate it or something. So I think AI enables, yeah, it's like before you would have to have like a skilled professional. Now, like I don't know, a lawyer or an engineer, or at least someone who is trained in using, I don't know, setting up a 3D printer. But now you can do it on your own. So I think slowly but surely this could also accelerate like or distribute manufacturing and digital fabrication also to smaller towns and villages over the time. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I remember talking about the digital fabrication here in 2015, yeah, at Voi. Yeah, but with AI right now, and this is not this is not marketing I'm doing to this startup, but there's another startup, for example, in Mombasa already, who are trying to build, for example, 3D printer from scratch using AI, and they have already come up with with an application already. For example, when you want to do a 3D printing of something, you have to come up with the 3D printing design. And this startup already is using AI to come up with the design. So there's no need of designer, for example, hiring somebody to do design for you. Right now, they've come up with that application that you just use prompt, and then it come up with the 3D file, and you can use you can print direct from from your computer. Yeah.
Yeah, and what's their name? You can give them a plug.
It's they're called Eco Print Generation. So it's one of the good startups, or one of the best startups in the Mombasa ecosystem. They are building. Okay, they are recycling marine plastic waste into 3D filament, and I use the 3D filament to implementing STEM modules for school, for example, art, and and other tech, STEM modules. So right now, they bought a bamboo lab 3D printer, but now they also thinking of building their. Okay, they're not also thinking, but they already started building their own 3D printer. The other day I saw some video that they posted, and thanks to AI, because right now it's very easy. It's not like in 2015. I remember there was I think it was ABC or something that they were like the first company. I don't know in Kenya or Africa. So 123, I don't know, it was 123 or ABC, and they were building local 3D printers from Nairobi. I remember, and I remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Yes, even
like
invited.
open source 3D printer designs. It was good. Yeah. But that's the point. It's always it still remained like a niche kind of thing, because it probably it's still kind of expensive as well, but it also was like difficult to set up. Wasn't that easy, and especially if you want to like assemble it by yourself, right? And then if you want it to work correctly. So so I think this is a great example that you provided. What is their name?
EcoPrint. So
EcoPrint.
EcoPrint generation. Yeah. So what you said, the digital fabrication or the mini factories, what you wrote in your book, already they are playing, or they're taking shape already, and with the AI is accelerating that process, as you say, because before you had to be, maybe you have studied, say, engineering or something like so that you could be able to come up with this maybe assembling different parts to come up with the the 3D printer, but not also doing the engineering part, but also be able to do some development, say the embedded software into the 3D printer. So but right now you could see, like, you could do all of that as somebody who have not studied say mechanical engineering in university, or you have not done any development software development course, and thanks to AI, because you could use the local materials, recycled materials, to come up with the 3D printer. But again, you could use AI to do the embedded software into the hardware. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and as well as troubleshoot some issues, right? Like when there is some problem, it's not printing well, it's not calibrated well. I mean, it's been ages. I was like, yeah, I was dealing with this, but my daughter recently told me, like, she saw her neighbor and school. I mean, classmate from kindergarten. They have a 3D printer at home, and she said, like, we should buy one as well. So
wow.
it's already, my daughter is like pushing me to buy it, because she wants to create some toys and some jewelry using 3D
Yeah,
printers.
I think you should buy. You should buy for her. I think it's
it's still not cheap, but I will try.
Yeah, it's not cheap. Yeah, yeah, but if you
But
compare,
it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
that bad.
It's not that expensive as some years ago, right?
Yeah, some years ago. Yeah, but it could accelerate their creativity very fast, and yeah, I think right now with the 3D printer, I see a lot of use case if I compare to back then, right now you could come up with so many things, and so many things are also many designs are also open sourced, and now also the point that I brought in, now we are seeing so many apps, designing apps like the one, this EcoPrint generation startups. I think their app is called Picture Print, so Picture Print. I know picture in Slovakia might mean something else, but
it's a swear word, but it's okay.
Yeah,
no worries.
But I'm just, what I'm saying is we are moving very fast in terms of in terms of how things are.
Yeah, it's just that the Kenyan pronunciation sometimes of the English words, sometimes I keep forgetting, but I remember from back in the days, like I was like, what is bad? It's like bird, bad, gal, girl,
Yeah.
and now when I was in Kenya, David said something like, I totally didn't understand him, but then but I forgot what was the word, but it was something similar,
Okay.
It's funny. Yeah, it's like I have to get used to the so the picture.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, but it's maybe the linguistic part of it, and but that's the funny
No,
part
but
of
it's great.
language.
You just have to. It takes maybe for someone who never visited Kenya, it maybe takes like a day or a few days to get used to the words, So
Yeah.
the pronunciation.
So I think maybe because of time, we might start winding up on maybe introduction about the second book. I think maybe you'd given a hint, but just a brief about it, and then we have like maybe 10 minutes or 9 minutes, and then we could
9 minutes, what about your series of articles on Kenyan startup ecosystem? Maybe you can like share, like let's divide it like 3 minutes you, 3 minutes me, and we wrap up 1 minute or so.
Okay. So okay, I became lazy.
Or whatever you want to talk about, like your article series on LinkedIn, right?
Sure. I started writing articles on LinkedIn some time back. I think I became lazy maybe this year, or maybe at the end of maybe late last year. But I was writing articles about Kenyan startup ecosystem, and how how maybe things are playing out here, and this was more of me trying to express myself, being part of the ecosystem, in working with startup hubs or in innovation side, and whereby we could. I used to also engage with stakeholders, and maybe also participate even in terms of writing some grants or some proposal and all that, but also being also a founder, experiencing the real life here and how the ecosystem is playing out. So I was just giving out my thoughts, and just try to explain how the ecosystem is at Kenya, and how the startups are struggling, and what also makes like these startups maybe die after 3 years of starting, or of being a startup. And also I also wrote about the funding part, how the VCs are not playing. The VC model is not playing out well here in Africa compared to, say, in the Western, because the VC is more pushing of coming up with unicorns. And for example, here in Africa, we don't need unicorns. Maybe we need camels. That's what I wrote, because for the Western side, it's more of within very short period of time, they could get a unicorn, because of funding is already there, there's trust. But here in Africa, for the outside donors to come and invest their money, they have to do the risk calculation, and sometimes the trust issue is not there, and this prolongs the period of of a startup reaching the unicorn level. And of course, there's also the culture sensitivity part, whereby like if it's a product by African, then it can be trusted by Africans themselves rather than somebody out from outside coming and start startups in Kenya. So that two comparisons, all those factors makes very hard for Africans to come up with to have these unicorns, but maybe we'd rather have camels who can sustain the long journey or all that period without being pushed very, very fast for ROI, because that's another aspect of any VC who wants return on investment very quickly, of which here in Africa that might not play well. So those are ideas that I was writing on my newsletter called Mtambo Mindwaves, and so I took a break because of some parenthood, fatherhood, because I joined that club, and but I'm looking forward to go back and start writing again.
Yeah, young fathers, or not so young. You are 10 years younger than me. But...
young fathers garden beer.
Yeah, that's back in Maungu. Some 15 years ago. Yeah, Young Father's Beer Garden. It was a nice place. I don't know, maybe it still is. I haven't been there for years.
No, I think it's closed. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, that's a good metaphor. Camel instead of a unicorn. Yeah, I mean, venture capital is already like very patient capital compared to some other folks like private equity and stuff. But it's true that probably it needs to be even more patient in Africa.
Even I wrote about the patient capital, whereby like this could be another model whereby, like, instead of depending, say, in VC who wants ROI very, very fast, maybe you could have also diaspora Kenyans who could invest in these startups in Africa, because they understand very well, their people, and they are not like want maybe very, very fast or very quick ROI compared to VC. So this could be a bridge in between the VC and and the other side, the patient capital. And it's not like I'm totally dismissing about the VC roles in Africa. I'm actually commending their work, and but it's just trying to write this article to strike some balance, and maybe think of other models that could also be sustainable.
Yeah. I mean, it's a worldwide problem. I think it's an unsolved problem, like how to move the Silicon Valley, or make how to make the Silicon Valley model work elsewhere. So it works in Silicon Valley now, even with the AI boom, but I think elsewhere it's very difficult. But it's possible, and just like that's what basically Balaji Srinivasan tries to do, or try to do near Singapore, in Malaysia, also like recently with the network school, but they had some troubles like last week. Basically some local politics combined with world politics related to some dual passports, maybe some Israeli citizens having two passports. So, but there was like one influencer that visited the place some time ago, like to create a video, right, like about it. And so, but there were some local politic issues, like regarding Malaysia and like Israeli citizens or something. But so the Malaysian authorities checked all the passports in network school, and all the passports were okay. So, but then there was already there was like a bad blood, and it kind of escalated with some licenses being revoked. So Balaji actually went to India and to Kazakhstan and managed to sign an MOU with Kazakhstan. So the network school will be moving there, but it was quite interesting to watch on X. Because like within a few days he already like had an MOU and the people are moving there. But I think it's a good opportunity maybe also for places like Mombasa or Kenya, because Kazakhstan, it's a nice culture, nice place and stuff. But like also Mombasa is great, so it's just like that's like some update. And so yeah, I wrote a book, Bespoke Balajisms. We did a podcast series on it, and last year there was this Dark Dynamism, and I'm now thinking about two more books related to the topic, so we can discuss them next time.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you, everyone, for also being with us for all these years, listening to Mtambo podcast. It was nice catching up with you again, Jakub Šimek, and looking forward to the next podcast discussing all these topics. So many things are in store, so stay tuned as our viewers. Thank you, Jakub, again.
Thank you, Duke.
Yeah.
See you.
This is Mtambo podcast. Again, thank you for joining us, and remember to do good always.